Ashia, you can start now. Ashia Kausar, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can start now.
The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Let today be the start of something new. Hello everyone, good morning to all. This is Arsha Kosa from 2nd BSc Computer Science. I feel very happy to host this 35th day of MAHA webinar marathon session. Thank you for joining in today's webinar and warm welcome to all. Prayer should always be our first response to every situation. Let us start this session with a prayer song with the blessing of Almighty.
ஐந்து கரத்தனை ஆனை முகத்தனை இந்தில் இளம் பிறை பாலும் ஏற்றனை நந்தி மகத்தனை ஞான கொழுந்தினை புந்தியில் வைத்து அடி போற்றுகின்றேனே.
नमस्तेस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे सुरपूजिते शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तुते। नमस्ते गरुडारूढे कोलासुरभयङ्करी सर्वपापहरे देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तुते। सर्वज्ञे सर्ववरदे सर्वदुष्टभयङ्करी सर्वदुःखहरे देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तुते। सिद्धिबुद्धिप्रदे देवी मुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदायिनी मन्त्रमूर्ते सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोऽस्तुते।
Now I kindly request our Honorable Principal Dr. R. Kumudini ma'am to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone present here. Good morning, Dr. Geetha.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Yeah, fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Yeah, happy to see you on this day. Okay, so
Thank you.
happy that you are a part of this MAHA webinar marathon. Okay, so
Yeah,
once we have started, we never thought that we will be traveling this much, but still we are happy that you are associated with us, and we would like to extend our warm welcome on behalf of this Mahalashmi institution and as well as the Department of Computer Science and BCA together. Okay, thank you so much for being a part of this MAHA webinar marathon.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
very happy to have you on this show. Okay, so eagerly awaiting for your inputs. Okay, so our students will be gained knowledge on the subjects. Okay, cloud computing. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now I call Yoshita of 3rd BSc Computer Science to propose welcome address. one and all present here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the Mahalashmi West Ita. One and all present here. This webinar. I also welcome our dedicated chairman, Mr. S.K. Adam sir, and our fascinating managing director, Mr. S.K. Tirukumaran sir, and Mr. S.K. Sendil Kumar sir, and enthusiastic principal, Dr. R. Innovative principals, Mr. S. Ramasamy sir, and Dr. U. Indumati ma'am. I also welcome our motivational HODs, staffs, and students present here. I feel very honored to introduce our special chief guest, Dr.K.Geetha, Assistant Department of Computer Science and Science, having more than 40 years of experience, more than 5 years of experience in research on cloud computing. Completed her doctorate at Hyderabad Government College for Women on the line of cloud computing. Presented, published many papers in on secure health data. Wonderful day. Once again, I welcome you all for this knowledge sharing session. Thank you. Data sharing session.
Thank you, Yoshika. Capturing the moment is treasuring it forever. We would like to capture a snap of this moment with all your kind photos. May I request you all to kindly switch on your video for virtual photo.
Thank you all. Arshia.
Thank you all. Before we get started the session, I request everyone to kindly switch off their videos and audios. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the chat box. Now I hand over the session to Dr.K.Geetha ma'am. Now over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. My slide is visible or not, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to one and all present in this webinar. I like to give my special thank to Mahalashmi College for giving me a great opportunity to participate in this MAHA webinar marathon 100 days. Thank you for this opportunity, ma'am. Now I'm going to start with this webinar topic, cloud computing. Before start with the cloud computing topic, we wanted to know something about on-premises storage as well as on-demand storage. Because before come to the point of a cloud computing, we all wanted to know that on-premises, because some other days before 20 years or 15 or 10 years, they are used to some of the on-premises storage only for maintaining the databases in their company, corporate company, or any IT companies. Such as some of the upfront cost also is going to be increased for accessing the data or information being, we wanted to store it in the storage, we need a huge number of storage. So these are all the some of the risk factors also they faced in the on-premises storage line. Okay, so that time they need high risk of a loss. They should server lose a power. If suppose if they are maintaining a data on the large amount of storage area, so they need some of the what importance also, maintenance time also they need to give a importance to the cloud storage before the cloud storage. But in on-premises, in some of the downside also is there, because before the cloud computing, the companies, they had to buy their own server and to install and manage inside their buildings. So that it's going to be set up as known as on-premises storage. And this is going to be for if IT companies decided to use on-premises storage, then they will also need to have a IT staff to maintain and manage the servers. So that's why these are all the main problems seemed unavoidable things when they are using the on-premises. That is until the advent of a cloud computing. That's why we wanted to move before the cloud computing on-premises. They used in that time companies, IT companies. But after that, on-premises as well as cloud computing side, some difference may be there. Once again. So on-premises was cloud computing. On-premises is nothing but all the space, all the storage level, software, hardware, everything they are going to be have at the own company. A lot of huge space of a servers they wanted to maintain in their company. And suppose they want to face a poor data security, less chance of a data recovery. These are also they faced before cloud computing. But after cloud computing or the cloud computing era, they don't want to buy all these things in their premises. No server space is required for them to maintain the data, better data security, disaster recovery, everything are available in the cloud computing. That's why in a new era, they are moved from the on-premises to cloud computing. And now we are come to the point of a cloud computing. We want to know what is meant by cloud computing. It's nothing but it's going to be provide all the things when we want to maintain application, databases, and storage, hardware, software, everything they are going to be provide, but pay per use. And what quantity storage we need, we wanted to pay for that and paying that using the same storage. So that is the main simple concept under the cloud computing. Then in a new era, why we need a cloud computing? Already I told you that pay only for cloud service and use the storage in a cloud computing, cloud storage. So in this cloud, is a delivery of cloud computing services. It's no server space is required when we come to the on-premises. So no expert is required for hardware and software maintenance, and it's going to be using for operating cost also is a very lower comparing with the on-premises. That's why nowadays everybody's are moving into the cloud computing storage. And we want to know the evaluation of the cloud computing also. Because before the cloud computing, we already know some of the computing technologies we used to store the databases, distributed computing, mainframe, cluster, grid computing, virtualization, web, service orientation, utility computing. And after 2007, we come to the concept of a cloud computing. In this cloud computing, first of all, we need a distributing computer. So distributing computer, or these are all the steps. We come to the cloud computing, but all about renting the computing service when come to the point of a cloud computing, isn't? And this idea is also came in the 1950s. In marketing level, the cloud computing, some of the technologies, they played a main role of that. So there are a distributed system, virtualization, Web 2.0, service orientation, utility computing, grid computing. These are also some type of technology we are used before the cloud computing, but these are also steps for the cloud computing. So in this step, first we wanted to know distributed system. This is a simple concept we already know very well, distributed system. In this distributed system, to share the resources, and also it's a very effective manner. But some of the drawbacks also is there in the distributed system. That's why we come to the next level. What are the important advantage in the sense, if the systems are connected under the distributed system, it's all in the same geographical location. So that is the main drawback are there in the distributed system. They wanted to overcome this problem. They are introduced the mainly three type of computings. One is a mainframe, cluster, grid computing. These three are the important step to come to the cloud computing. That's why we want to know something about a distributed system, mainframe, cluster, and grid computing. Mainframe computing. This is also a large data location, such as massive input-output operations are done using with a mainframe. But this is also having some of the advantage. It's very expensive. That's why to reduce this expensive cost, we are moved to the cluster computing. That came an alternative to the main computer, mainframe technology. And next, apart from the mainframe, some of the disadvantage, overcome the disadvantage of that, we are just moving to the cluster computing. It's an alternative to the mainframe computing. In this cluster, the systems are clustered together, but each machine that is going to be connected to each other by the network, by using with a high bandwidth. And here also, some of the disadvantage or downside are there. Problem related with this also, your geographical restrictions are there. That's why they are given some of this, a problem solvement for this one. They given a concept of grid computing that was introduced in that time. And grid computing, this is a basic for your cloud computing concept. And this is also a centralized management computing. And it's going to be operated with the corporate network, as well as multiple domains are there. And here also a problem are there in a scalability. Scalability is nothing but if you need to extend the memory location, it's possible to handling in a cloud computing. If suppose we don't want a memory location, lot of memory location, we need some of the reducing the storage, then that is also is possible using with the cloud computing. But it's very problem related in the grid computing. In the scalability is a normal and maximum computing only is available for a grid. And that's why we solve these problems. They introduce the cloud computing concept. Because in cloud computing, evaluation of the cloud computing, when you are focused to the cloud computing, some important benefits also is there using with these things. First of all, cost. So cost is a very important for maintaining the database and huge amount of databases. Cloud computing, it's going to be eliminate the capital expensive because we are not using in on premises, isn't it? So that's why we are come to the point of a cloud computing. It's avoiding a capital expense. It's not a very high comparing with the on premises. And the next benefit for the under cloud computing is a speed. Speed in just a few minutes, we just flexibility to access our data from the storage, cloud storage. It's a very high speed to access the data from the cloud computing storage. That is a very good benefit in under the cloud computing. For example, now we are maximum social work or social media. We are using Facebook and WhatsApp. Everything are under the cloud computing. So very easiest way to access all the data under the cloud computing storage. So that is a very good benefit under the cloud computing. And next benefits under cloud computing is scalability. It's ability to scale elastically. It means when we wanted to extend the storage level to maintain a database, we have to pay for that memory storage, then we can buy it. And whenever we don't want a lot of memory location to maintain the database, then we can shrink the database also. So that is very flexible benefit are there in a cloud computing. This is going to be increase or decrease the IT resources as needed to meet the changing demand in a database in the companies. And next benefits under cloud computing, it's nothing but reliability, because reliability is also a important role in other cloud computing. If suppose in any companies, they want to take a backup database, and then disaster recovery is there. And then any companies, they wanted to continue easier with a less expensive also, they can use it. So the reliability is a very good benefit under the cloud computing, as well as the security. Because security, if you're comparing with on-premises, less securities are there, because comparing with the cloud computing, they want to maintain separate security protection they wanted to give on the on-premises. In cloud computing, lot of security measures they wanted to take to maintain their sensitive data, because all the data in the cloud computing storage, everything must be your sensitive data. For example, any public data are there, private data are there, or otherwise any community data also under the cloud computing is there. Take example for our Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card detail is a very secure data, isn't it? So that is also maintained in the private cloud. Anybody across or apart from the admin or maintaining the database, another they can't access the data from the private data cloud. Okay, so that is why security is also very sensible things in the cloud computing. So it's also is going to be controlled. Some of the using technology was designed to maintain the security and protect the information, data security, and all the applications that is going to be associated with the cloud computing storage data. And next thing, type of cloud computing. Type of cloud computing, it's not only a cloud computing. It's divided into some classification of a cloud computing are there based on the security, efficiency, reliability, and based on these idea, they given some type of a cloud. One is a public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, community cloud is it. Public cloud, these are all the main topic under the type of cloud computing. One is a private cloud. Private cloud in the sense it's like an organization. They want to maintain their data in a secured way. So it's also known as internal cloud or a corporate cloud, because it's a very highly sensitive private data. So private sectors, take an example for government issues or any government data also is a private cloud, and it is used by the organization. They want to maintain the data by the third party. So when the third party is there and are maintaining the database, maybe some data is also going to be lost. But after public but private data, comparing with the another type of a data, cloud types, but private cloud data are very secured manner. No one can access the data from the cloud. And next thing is public cloud. Public cloud is also is a one type of a cloud. But in a concept of private cloud, and one more important message is there, because based on that location and management, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, they divide the private cloud into some two parts is there. One is on-premises private cloud, another one is outsourced private cloud. So in these things, private cloud is accessible within the organization, but some of the difficulties also maintaining with the private cloud. One is within the organization, they are going to be accessible, but so the area of operation is also limited. That is a disadvantage under with a private cloud. Another one, apart from that, next thing is public cloud. So public cloud, it's a part of another type. In this public cloud is open to all to store and access information. Because take example for your Facebook or otherwise WhatsApp group, everything's are a public cloud. So we wanted to store all the information in that and access the information also very easiest way. It's all open to all. So that's why it's called as a public cloud. And in public cloud, it also, some of the resources are managed and operated by the cloud service provider. For example, Amazon, EC2, Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, and IBM Smart Cloud Enterprise, Microsoft, Google App Engine. These are all the examples for public cloud. Public cloud is less secure because resources are shared publicly. Okay, so that's a main drawback also is there in a public cloud. Sometimes performance depends upon high-speed internet network linked to the cloud provider. And here, main disadvantage for using this public cloud, client has no control of a data. So that is the main thing. Client has, client, for example, you are the client under the Facebook, then some other also, they can access your data without your permission. That is also is possible under the public cloud. And next, we just move to the next concept or next type of that is nothing but hybrid cloud computing type. It's also a partially secure because this is going to be communicated with the two cloud. One is a public, another one is a private. For example, take example for your Aadhaar card. Some other details only you can access, but some other important data from that we can't access. So important data is maintained under the private cloud, and some of the data which user also may want to see that type of data may be stored under the public cloud. So that's why these two public as well as private cloud combined together, it's formed as a hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is called as a partially secured because the servers which are running on the public cloud. So if suppose under the private, it's not an issue, but some of the data is under the public. So public cloud running on the public cloud data accessed by anyone. So that time less secure are there. For example, some of the applications are there, Gmail, Google App and Google Drive, Office 365 and Amazon Web Services. These are all the example for a hybrid cloud computing. If suppose if you are using Gmail, it is also some part is a private cloud, some part of a data is under the private cloud. Private cloud. And next we just move to the community type of a cloud computing. So community in the sense it allows some services accessible by a group of some type of several organization, and they are going to be share the information between the organizations and the specific community only. So that type of cloud computing is called as community cloud computing. And next we just move to the services, because we need these of the type cloud computing. Apart from that, where we want to store the data, whether it is wanted to store it in a public or a private or a hybrid, or it may be stored in a community cloud. But all these type of a cloud computing is need some of the services, and these services are mainly divided into three. One is SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. What is SaaS, PaaS, IaaS? It's nothing but software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service. So these are all the main services under any type of a cloud computing. Now, first, if suppose we are proceed with the software as a service, server, storage, network, and middleware package software, and all these things are going to be handled with the software as a service, and end users are going to be communicate with this layer. Okay, so that in the first service, under this, software as a service. In the software as a service, what a software distribution model is it? It is also an on-demand software. It's nothing but it's a software distribution model in which service are hosted by a cloud service provider. And this is going to be using with four important way. One is a business service and document management, social networks, mail services. Everything comes under the software as a service. And another name for this, on-demand server software. And it is also a software distribution model. And these services also available to end users, that is over the internet. So the end users do not need to install any software. That is a main profit are there in SaaS in these devices to access these services also. SAS is becoming an increasingly prevent deliver model also. In the services through internet, the services available to users anywhere in the world. And that's why we are proceeding with software as a service. And second, come to the point of PaaS. It's nothing but platform as a service. It's provide runtime environment. It's a second layer or second part of this service. It's a very important service because in this line, it's provide a runtime environment because it's allow programmers to create, testing or running or deploy the web applications, that all the works under the PaaS. So that's why it, for example, if you wanted to purchase these applications from a cloud service provider on a pay as per use base and access them using the internet connection. This is the main advantage using for this PaaS. It's one of the main services under the cloud computing. And this is also including infrastructure like a server, storage, networking, platform. When we are come to the point of platform, it comes under the middleware and development tool, database management system. Everything's are collectively we are maintaining under the platform as a service. And for some of the example for this platform as a service, Google App, as well as Engine Force and Azure. And these are also example for a platform as a service. And apart from that, third important service under the cloud computing is a IaaS, infrastructure as a service. And another name for that, hardware as a service, because it's going to be focused with the storage level and infrastructure level. That's why it's called it as a hardware as a service. And it is also having some of the layer cloud computing platform, but it is allow customer to outsource the infrastructure, such as, for example, networking, processing, storage, or any other resources. And this is also comes under the infrastructure as a service. And in this part, customers access these resources on the internet using pay as per use model. Because of the total cloud computing concept is pay as per use model, isn't it? So in IaaS also, the customers, they wanted to access these resources like a hardware, software, or a storage level, and on the internet using, they want to pay per use model. Use model is nothing but how much memory storage they wanted to maintain the data. That is the meaning. So three types. One is ACAAS. It's nothing but on-demand software. And it is also your software distribution model, which is a service hosted by the cloud service provider, and end users. Everything's are considered the service of ACAAS. And third one, platform as a service, is nothing but platform oriented. It's mainly working with a platform middleware, VMware. VMware is nothing but virtual middleware. So virtual machine is connected with the cloud computing. So it is a main part of the working part of your cloud computing. So all these virtual middleware also comes under the platform. It's also very easy to create, run everything, deployment, everything comes under this service. And a third one, IaaS, it's nothing but two hardware related. And it's another name for that, hardware as a service. And it is also your platform layer. It's one of the layer of the cloud computing platform. And you're maintaining the storage and virtual machine. Virtual machine in the sense VM. And after these services in the deployment model and services type of a cloud computing, and apart from these things, we just wanted to come under some services based on the infrastructure or software as a service or any other in under the public cloud or a private cloud. So now the big three of a public clouds are there. So these are all the services under the cloud computing. And in the cloud computing, while Amazon is the most well-known, isn't it? The cloud computing market is also still developing. Many IT companies, they have created their own cloud software with different strength and some specialities. So if based on that companies, we just wanted to look with some of the software is good for each job. For example, the big three public clouds are there. One is AWS, and one is AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. These are all the mainly three public clouds are there. Mainly three public clouds are there. And in these things are, mostly we are using one of that Google Cloud. We are maintaining most of the data under a Google Cloud because it's a public cloud. Then we can use it if it is a non-sensitive data. If we wanted to maintain any not important data, everything we can use it with the public cloud. As well as when we are come to this point, if you wanted to know how to buy this cloud computing or how to use these cloud computing, some ideas are there, because if you want to maintain the database, then purchase the database, cloud database. But before, we don't want to purchase, but we want to know something about a cloud computing service, then we can use a trial pack. Trial pack is there, AWS trial pack is there, Amazon Azure is there. Then we can use a Google Cloud trial pack. Then we can use it 1 month trial pack or a 15 days trial pack. Use that. If suppose it's very comfortable to store our data, then we can buy it. Before move to the cloud computing storage, we can use the trial pack also. And next one is the infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service, it's nothing but it's also your AWS, Microsoft Azure, as well as Google Cloud, everything's are infrastructure as a service. Like an example, your Facebook is all the social networks also comes under the cloud computing concept. If suppose comes under the Facebook, it's not any sensitive data. It's also your sensitive data. Maybe sometimes we are using some of the conversations or some important pictures, or we are transmitting from one location to another location, but using under the public cloud. And apart from that, in a multi-cloud hybrid deployment is there in the service providers, IBM, Dell, and HP, VMware, virtual middlewares are there, and the software as a service. Software as a service model, it's nothing but a Salesforce. It's a user end service. That's why, example for Oracle. Oracle is also your software as a service. So these are also some cloud computing service providers are there. And these providers, we can use it, and we can get the benefit of a cloud computing. So these are all the cloud computing services providers, and main providers. Now we are using so many providers. Are the IBM Cloud is there, Microsoft Azure. So these are all the cloud computing service providers. And if we wanted to use a cloud computing, we just try with the trial pack. If suppose it is suitable for us, and if you wanted to use the AWS, in that trial pack, it's containing 5 steps are there. 5 steps to give your information, and some username and password we wanted to create for the trial pack also. And then give the 5 steps security. If you are moved to the trial pack also, they are using 5 steps to include it. And 15 days or 30 days. After that, we can move to buy a cloud computing. If suppose AWS or Microsoft Azure, or if suppose we wanted to buy a Google Cloud, everything is available, but pay as per use of the model. Is it clear? Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Any doubt in this one? Any doubt regarding with cloud computing? Any queries are there?
Girls, do you have any queries? You can ask, ma. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Arshia?
Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful session. It was very informative and useful for us, and we gained a lot of information about cloud computing. Now I call upon Tarani of 3rd BSc Computer Science to deliver the vote of thanks.
Dharani, wait a minute, ma'am. Sorry for interrupting, ma'am. I take this opportunity to show my gratitude to Dr.K.Geetha, ma'am, for her immediate support and my friend who made this happen. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Dharani, you can continue.
Saying thank you is more than a good manners. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored and lucky to have the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this MAHA webinar session, day 35. I would like to thank our resource person, Dr.K.Geetha ma'am, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, Sindhi College of Arts and Science. In spite of her busy schedule, she has spent her precious time for making this webinar meaningful and most interesting. Thank you very much, ma'am. Through this webinar, we were able to know about cloud computing, before the cloud computing, evolution of cloud computing, why we need it, benefits and its types, and so on. Thank you for sharing the knowledge, ma'am. I would like to thank our chairman, Mr. S. Kunjithapadam sir, managing director, Mr. S.K. Thirukumaran and Mr. S.K. Sindhukumar sir, and our beloved principal, ma'am, Dr. R. Kumudini ma'am, and also express our deep gratitude to our vice principals, Dr. S. Ramaswamy sir and Dr. U. Indumati ma'am for their presence in this webinar. I would also thank our HOD ma'am, Mrs. R. Jyoti, for her guidance and moral support. I'm happy to express a vote of thanks to our technical team members, colleagues, and all attendees who have made this webinar session memorable. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dharani. It is time to wind up the session. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
for
you, ma'am.
giving this great opportunity for me. Thank you to management, and principal of Mahalashmi College, and all the staff members and then students. I just give my grateful thanks to all. I'm also participate in this MAHA webinar marathon and the days. Thank you once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Geetha ma'am.
Thank